of the Money Panel, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, this channel is here to help you understand both the practical steps of managing money, the financial education side, but also to help you understand your relationship with money, because we know that behind every financial situation, there's a set of thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. And when we combine the practical element with the transformational relationship with money side, that's when the magic happens. Now, I'm a qualified financial advisor. I've been in the profession for 20 years, and I'm a multi-award winning financial coach and trainer. So make sure that you don't miss any of these videos. We put them out every single week on this channel. Hit the subscription button and the notification icon bell so that you don't miss out. So I wanted to come on today and talk about a topic that is being talked about a lot in the online space at the moment, and for a good reason. And this is the topic of passive income or semi-passive income. And I wanted to share with you 10 ways that I believe that you can start to think about for 2020 to generate semi-passive income. Now, when we take the actual definition of passive income, the definition of passive income is you earning money without working for it. That's the technical definition. If you go and Google it, the dictionary definition is that you don't have to be involved in your work to generate that income. And hence the reason why I think really what we're looking to create as entrepreneurs is wouldn't that be wonderful if we could create income that doesn't require us to work? But in reality, the best forms of you making money is for you to be creating semi-passive incomes and multiple semi-passive income streams. So I reckon I've got now 14 different streams of passive income, semi-passive income, not passive income. I have to work to earn the money that I earn in my business. It's not completely passive. So for example, I have my membership. That involves me to do a lot of work to maintain that membership, to generate content for the members, to go live and answer people's questions. All of those things are on my time. But it is semi-passive because I still have membership reoccurring revenue coming into my business, although it does require some of my time. So a membership is one way, and I'll talk through 10 of the best ways I believe that you can generate semi-passive income in your business. But I have my membership, I have investing courses, I've got an inner circle mastermind, I have a book, I have a podcast, I have my website, I have referral partners, I have affiliate marketing links in some of my content. So if I really believe passionately in a particular company's products or services, then I will look to promote them. I have speaker fees. I have, if I do training, I get income from that. So I have 14 different streams of income currently in my business. Now, I've been running my business now for 2 years. It's taken me 2 years to generate 14 streams of passive income. So this is 100% possible for you to even just pick a few of these streams for you to focus on for 2020. Now, in reality, the reason we want to create passive income is because we don't want to be constantly exchanging or trading our time for money, because time is much more valuable than money, isn't it? If someone said to me, I will come and take over clearing your 837 emails in your inbox, for example, I'll do it in 2 hours and I'll give you back that 2 hours, I would pay money for that, because 2 hours of my time, I could go to the cinema with the children, I could go for a nice meal, I could go for a walk around the park. I can't buy back that time. But I can only buy back that time by outsourcing to other people. And actually, we did a podcast episode on this last week. We did how to get more done in less time by outsourcing, which was episode 20 of series 3. So go and have a listen to that if you haven't listened to that yet. But let me just talk you through my 10 ways that I think that you could start to generate semi-passive income streams in your business. So the first one is an ebook. So what are you great at? What do you teach your clients? How do you help your clients? Is there something that you teach most of your clients, or you take them through a journey or a process? How many other entrepreneurs, or depending on who your market is, but how many other people could have that valuable service delivered in an ebook? So this could be something that also you could start to capture emails, which again is an asset in your business. Emails are an asset to your business because they are a way of you generating an audience so that you've got an audience to sell to. you've got an audience to start building relationships with. Some of my clients I've become really good friends with, so that I've not, that it's not just a sales revenue, but also a friendship revenue, and to have people that support you in your business all of the time. So think about how you could maybe take some of your content and put that together into an ebook. That ebook could be put onto Amazon. It could be put onto a number of multiple different platforms that you could then sell from. It could be put on your website, for example. It could be a downloadable document when people join your membership, for example. So an ebook is one way that you could start to generate passive income. The second one is online courses. Now, I know many of you will be familiar with this concept already. Many of you may have bought online courses. Many of you may even have online courses already yourself. And these can be put on platforms like Udemy. They can be put on Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, lots of very, very simple, clever little third-party platforms where you can produce your content, and it doesn't have to be a full-blown 12-week video program. It could just be a snippet of audios. I've purchased courses before that are literally just audio based. So many people fear, getting their face out there on video and being visible. So maybe what you could do is start off by creating your content in audio clips. Maybe you could put together some hypno tracks, for example, if you're a therapist. That's always something I'm looking to download on platforms like Udemy. Maybe you're a VA, for example, and you know how someone can organize their emails, and you want to teach people how they can do it for themselves. You could put that into a mini course, and you could charge like 50 quid for it, or £100 for that. And obviously, if multiple people purchase that course, that's a stream of passive income for you. Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned so far actually is marketing and sales, because it's all great producing this content, but if you haven't got a marketing or sales strategy behind it, no one's going to see that content. So that's another really important part of when you're creating content. You want to make sure that you're actually marketing. You've got a marketing strategy behind it to get visible so that actually people see what you're generating, what you're producing. But online courses is a fantastic stream of revenue. The third option is to think about affiliate marketing. Now, this is quite a big subject, but affiliate marketing could be as simple as reaching out to organizations of products that you currently use. It could be apps that you're using. Let's say you're an accountant or you're using Xero. Maybe you could reach out to Xero and see if you could form a partnership with them. They offer a partnership program, so that people you introduce to Xero, you could earn some money from that. Maybe you're using apps like Chip, for example, or Plum or Clio. These are some of the apps that I use. And if I use them and I know they're super good, then I'll always reach out to them and say, look, I really want to promote your app because I absolutely love it for XYZ reasons. I'll make it really personal when I reach out to them, and see if they're running some kind of affiliate. And then I'll go and talk about it. But I will never do that for companies that I wouldn't know and don't trust and haven't used myself. So I think that's really important. You've got to protect your brand reputation as well. But think about how you could use affiliate marketing. That could be something that you write about. You could blog about it. You could share some social media posts about it. And, if you're producing blogs on a website, for example, then if people are clicking through to those blogs and they're clicking through to your affiliate links, then you can start to earn money that way. There's one blogger that I know who has generated over £1 million worth of revenue in her business just this year, just from blogging and affiliate marketing. So it's an incredible way of producing passive income, or semi-passive income, should I say. The fourth one is property. So this is an area actually that we're exploring ready for next year. So property is an asset, obviously, that you can leverage. So you could, for example, draw some capital out of your residential property, and you could go and leverage that and invest that in a second property, and then rent that property out, and then that would be a passive income stream. Now, whether it's passive or semi-passive depends on whether you're maintaining that property yourself or whether you're outsourcing that for somebody else. You could actually make that quite a passive income stream by letting somebody else maintain that property, so you actually don't have to do anything at all. But of course, going into property does involve experience, it involves knowledge, it involves leveraging some capital to go and do that. I mean, there are other ways of leveraging property purchases. You can get other people to lend you the money. But property is definitely an area that once you've bought that asset is going to grow over time. Maybe you've got children and you want to go and buy a property in a city where they may go to university, and then they may live in that property while they're at university. So you're saving rent. So there's lots and lots of benefits of investing into property. My number 5 area is YouTube videos. So when I say YouTube videos, I'm talking in reality here about producing content. One thing that people often forget is that this video that I'm doing right now, and that I'm also recording as a podcast, is an asset in my business. So any content that you're producing, like Facebook Lives, like podcasting, like videos, are all assets in your business. This video will be on for as long as Facebook exists, and as long as my podcast exists, will be an asset on my platforms. Now, I may decide to take all of my Facebook Lives, for example, and all of my podcast episodes and put them into a book, for example. That could be another way of repurposing the content that I'm producing in order to generate more income. But YouTube videos is a great way. I mean, gosh, look at some of the YouTubers out there. My boys are fiercely into watching these footballer YouTubers where they just go and play games on their PlayStations, and the kids just love watching it. Or they might be playing football on a football pitch and they're watching their skills. And, you know, people have made some serious money on YouTube videos. And one of the common ways that you can start to do that is once you get to a couple of thousand subscribers on YouTube and a certain number of downloads, you can actually start to run ads on your YouTube videos. Now, I'm still debating whether I want to go down that road personally for my business, but one of my friends has recently just turned on her ads on her YouTube videos, and already she's making a couple of $100 a month. Now, that's not a huge amount of money, but obviously as her YouTube channel grows, she's got a couple of thousand subscribers right now, so not that many in reality, but she's already starting to earn a couple of $100 per month in revenue. So that could be an area. If you're confident on video, if your work is something where you can go and do some short, sharp tips and videos that people like to watch, maybe you could do some tutorial videos to show people how to do something. I don't know about you, but often if I'm struggling with something techie based, I'll Google it, and often it will come up with a YouTube video, and I'll go and watch that YouTube video, you know, how to put an email signature stamp on your emails, for example. So could you do some tutorial videos on YouTube and then promote that YouTube video on your social media platforms and drive all that traffic to YouTube, get your listeners up, get your subscribers up, and then that could be something potentially that you could then monetize. So YouTube videos is somewhere to watch out for. You know, go and mirror people that are maybe doing what you're doing, and mirror what they're doing, but make it unique to you. So, you know, in reality, nobody's idea is a new idea, but go and have a look at what successful people are already doing, mirror what they're doing, but make it unique to what you're doing, make it unique to you. Tip number 6 then is you could think about, if you're maybe a photographer or a musician or an artist, maybe you could sell your audio tracks, or you could sell your photographs. So on websites like Shutterstock, for example, you could take some beautiful photographs and you could sell them on platforms like Shutterstock. Maybe you're a musician and you could download or produce some audio tracks for podcasters to download, or people that do video content. Maybe you could contact some entrepreneurs and ask to work with them to produce them some unique audio tracks for their intros, for their videos. So little things like that. You could go onto websites like Upwork or Fiverr and start putting on there what your skills are, and then people will want to work with you. Maybe you're a brand designer, maybe you create logos, maybe you're looking to increase your revenue. So you could go onto those platforms and advertise your services and see what comes. One of my clients recently made about £12,000 in 3 months just by putting her freelance work on those platforms. And she kept that money actually in those accounts. She didn't actually take it out because she thought that if she took it out, she would spend it. So she kept it in their account in that platform. And now she's considering how to invest that money in her business. So that's another really good opportunity if you're a photographer or a creator, or you are great at music, and you could look at ways to generate income on that basis. Tip number 7 is to leverage websites. So leverage cashback websites. for purchases is you would already be making. So for example, Top Cashback, Quidco, Kidsstart, all of these cashback websites. And I did a video about this a couple of weeks ago, so go and check that out on the Money Panel page. But those kind of websites will pay you to go and visit the websites that you would already be purchasing stuff from anyway. So for example, if you're purchasing something on Amazon, go into Kidsstart, set up an account in there. You can earn 2% cash back on Amazon purchases through Kidsstart. With Kidsstart, you can link up your children's savings account. That's why it's called Kidsstart. And any cash back that you earn from your purchases go into your children's savings accounts. If you don't have kids, just put your own bank account details on there. It will still work exactly the same. Or maybe if you've got nieces or nephews, ask the parents for their savings account details and you could start putting cash back into their accounts. A really nice give back over Christmas, for example. Top Cashback is a great one. I've earned thousands of pounds over the years on Top Cashback. I use it for pretty much everything. My insurances, my mobile phone contracts, my Sky, my broadband, my electricity bills, home insurance, car insurance, all of my online purchases. So if I'm buying school uniform for the children from Marks and Spencer's, I'll do it via Top Cashback. So, again, it's not thousands and thousands of pounds, but all of these things, when you add them all together, and in fact, if I add that to my income stream, I've actually got 15 income streams. So Top Cashback websites like that are a great way to earn extra pennies. And you can also refer, once you open one of your accounts, you can get an affiliate link, share that with one of your friends, and often they'll give you like £5 or £10 by referring that to somebody else. Tip number 8 is to think about launching a podcast. Now, I launched my podcast at the end of January this year, so we're almost a year in now, and we're about to do a whole refresh and revamp of the podcast. We're actually going to be going quite dark over dark as in quiet, not dark as in dark content, dark over Christmas, so that we can start preparing for a real kind of refresh and launch in January. We've got a new logo coming out as well, and potentially a sponsor for the podcast. So again, this is a way where you can start to monetize once you've got some serious good downloads on your podcasts. Then you can be monetizing that. You can look for sponsors. You can have paid ads on your podcast. This is something that actually that a lot of the American podcasts do. I would say more so than the Brits. But actually, I quite like to listen to podcasts where they do talk about ads. They've got ads in there that they're passionate about. And you can tell on the podcasters whether they're passionate about who's sponsoring them or not. So have a think about, could you be launching a podcast? Podcasting as well is another way to start to generate leads in your business. We're definitely starting to see some traction on the podcast now, where we're getting people join our Facebook groups, join our programs. I had somebody join my Inner Circle Mastermind recently off the back of the podcast. So it's definitely a way where you can start to get your work out to more people. Tip number 9 is blogging. And I briefly touched on this earlier on, but this is a way for you to drive traffic to your websites. So I launched my blog January last year, and I've got pretty good traction now through my website. So people organically will find me because we're using a good search engine optimization on our website. But driving traffic to your website, writing blogs, reaching out to other experts and asking them to write for your website. So if you haven't got time to write one every week, you could be reaching out to guest bloggers and getting people to write blogs for you. They'll share your posts then, you'll get bigger reach. So one of the things we did actually on one of our blogs this year is we reached out to some experts in the industry and said, we're writing an article on this. Can we quote you? And we had we had Martin Lewis, we had the CEO of Boring Money, Holly McKay. And of course, when you quote them, they're going to want to share your stuff. So think about, could you reach out to other experts for quotes for your blogs, for example? And obviously on your podcast, you want to be interviewing people that are good at what they do. And so I interviewed Rob Moore on my podcast earlier this year, and that's been one of the most successfully downloaded podcasts so far of the series. Because he's very well known for what he does and people want to hear about him. So, reach out to people that are going to suit your audience. And then tip number 10 is speaking. Now, from a speaking perspective, I mean, getting paid to talk, which in reality is all it is. Like, if you're a talker, just go and get paid for it. Go and get paid to talk. Go and get paid to talk about the things that you love. And again, this is something that I've been really focusing on in my business, and will be focusing much more on for next year. I was absolutely petrified the first time I ever stood on stage, and the first time I actually ever stood in front of on a proper stage in front of a decent sized audience was, in fact, just over a year ago. It was at the Humans Under Management conference with a very good friend of mine, Andy Hart, who's a financial planner. And I was so I wasn't just standing on a stage in front of people, I was standing in front of my peers on a stage, and I was talking about my story. And it was a very emotional story. And I was literally petrified. I don't even think Andy knows this, but days before, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? I'm just going to come up with an excuse that I'm not very well or something. I was so nervous. And I delivered this talk, and it was recorded. It's on my website. You can go and check that out, themoneypanel.co.uk. But it was the first one I'd ever did. And what happened after that was a scurry of people then contacted me to say, I loved your story. I really resonated with that. Thank you for sharing. That was so emotional. And I then had that video critiqued by an expert, an ex-BBC journalist, and she critiqued it for 3 hours. And then the next time I delivered it, it was better. And then the time after that, it was better. And now that one speaker event landed me another speaker event this year, which was a 6-city tour, which I earned some decent money from. And that then generated me more speaker inquiries for other things. So from a speaker perspective, that is a great way for you to just get paid to talk, to share your story, to create impact, to create influence and on others with your story, with your with what you want to talk about. And you don't have to have a traumatic background or a story to get paid to talk. You just have to deliver good content. And it's also how you make people feel when you're speaking. It's not just what you're delivering in terms of content, it's how you make people feel. People will remember that. So that's the final one, is speaking. So what could you create that people would want to hear about? Maybe you do have a traumatic past. Maybe you have been through a really terrible experience and you come out the other side and you know that other people are suffering with the same issues. Maybe you could share some of your story to help them. So just to summarize those things then, so that's number 1, ebook. Number 2, create an online course. Number 3, look at partnering with other companies to produce some affiliate income. Number 4, look at investing into property. Number 5, investing into content, i.e. YouTube videos. Number 6, look at selling photographs or audios on different platforms. Number 6 is leveraging cashback websites on websites that you would ordinarily use anyway. Number 8 is thinking about launching a podcast. Number 9 is becoming a blogger. And number 10 is being a speaker. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial, so to speak. And if you're listening on the podcast, I hope that you've listened, that you've enjoyed listening today. And I will speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.